I love Halloween, and I take it very seriously. It's a very serious holiday with the dressing up and the trick-or-treating, and totally serious. I was diagnosed in September, so the first major holiday as a kid after my diagnosis was Halloween. So basically it was like, here, your pancreas doesn't work anymore, you don't make your own insulin, and your parents and you are trying to adjust to this new normal. What we'd like to do is send you out into your neighborhood to get as much candy as you can carry and just kind of see how that goes. I mean, Halloween is a fun time, but somehow the focus has gone from the costumes and the fun to just straight up candy. Like it's this gigantic sugar fest where you can't escape it. And as a kid with diabetes or someone who's taking care of someone with diabetes, that can be a little on the tricky side. When I was growing up, my parents were excellent about substituting in some stuff like stickers and markers and Play-Doh. Basically, they let me make the biggest mess possible in order to kind of deter me from the candy, which is something I appreciated because I didn't end up with the high blood sugars. And also, after everybody else was done eating their candy, I still had plenty of stuff to play with, and it was like, it almost felt like a win, you know? Another thing that my parents and I did was when I would come home with this gigantic, pillowcase filled with candy, my brother, who's 6 years older than me, would kind of offer to buy it. And I know he wasn't actually purchasing it, but like there was this exchange of, all right, you get a couple bucks and you're going to hand all your candy over to your older brother. And for me, I felt like I got to go out and do the candy curation and like bring home as much as I could. Who's got the most loot? I do! And then I sold it to my brother. So I got to go trick-or-treating, but then I also unloaded a lot of that candy and a lot of my parents' worry by selling it to my brother. So another thing, what, this surprises you? They bought into that sugar-free gum and sugar-free candy and that kind of thing, which was totally useful because it let me indulge a little without having the blood sugar spikes. But if you eat too much, you know what happens. I mean, you end up a prisoner in your own body. I don't really want to get into the details of that, but it's nasty. You don't want to eat too much of that. And then there is that option that my mom tried to sell me on, which is, we're going to save a whole pile of this for your low blood sugars. And it's like, yeah, that's great, but you want to eat that stuff when you're not low. So if you are saving Halloween candy for low blood sugars, make sure that stash is kind of in an out-of-the-way place where little rabbits can't sniff it out. Halloween is totally doable, and it doesn't have to be this huge stressor, and just focus more on dressing up and having fun than housing candy. I remember that first Halloween, my mom came up to me and she was like, oh, how is trick-or-treating? And she's all leaning in like, and she's sniffing me. I'm like, what on earth? She was smelling me for chocolate. Moderation seems to be the running theme for diabetes. I mean, you can eat that, but, at the right time and when you take the right insulin. It seems like it's a balancing act, and Halloween is no exception. It's awesome because it's your chance to be a superhero in a mask that you can't wear to the grocery store without people looking at you, but you can wear it on Halloween and nobody, is thinking you're weird or anything. Grocery store was awkward. My poor kid.